Our final presentation for this session is Rafael Barrientos, talking about the human footprint and mountain lion territory use. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming. I am presenting here an ongoing research that is a collaboration of my university in Spain and some universities in California and Texas. The title is How Human Footprint and Mountain Lion Territory Use in Human-Dominated Landscapes. Human footprint is a variable that is a combination of several other interrelated variables, like the surface of built environments, population density, the surface occupied by croplands and pasturelands, the length of roads, railways, and navigable waterways, and the light pollution, the so-called ALAN, artificial light at night. This human footprint is, as expected, concentrated in most developed areas like Southeast Asia, Central Europe, and United States, especially in the East Coast, but also in the West Coast in California. The puma concolor, the puma, mountain lion, Florida panther, cougar, is probably the most widespread top carnivore in America, as it is distributed from Patagonia in the south to northern Canada in the northern hemisphere, from the sea level to the high peaks in Los Andes and Rocky Mountains. These wide distributions imply several conflicts with humans. For instance, roadkills are the main cause of mortality of adult pumas, there where this hunting is not legal. And the everyday more or increasing development of neighborhoods close to wilderness increase the visitation rates of pumas to these neighborhoods because, for instance, they can go there to catch pets or domestic animals, so a human conflict is served. So, based on previous study from my team members in California, I took advantage of a set of radiocollar location of pumas from 2001 to 2022 that accounts for around 150,000 locations of 79 females and 53 males. The study area is central and coastal California. That is one of the areas with the highest concentration of human-dominated landscapes, with several large cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco. Here, pumas usually remain in the mountain range that are distributed across all the study area because the lowlands are dominated by people and these populations are usually isolated. So, in our study, we took into account the sex and the age of the pumas because, for instance, previous studies found that female pumas with cubs visit more frequently those human-dominated landscapes because they can catch easy prey like domestic prey. Also, the distance to roads, because previous studies found that puma avoid highways or highways and maybe minor roads, but also they, on the contrary, they usually use especially unpaved road during their displacements. Land uses are also an important variable to define puma home ranges or territories, because they avoid human-dominated landscape and open areas, and they positively select creeks, scrublands, and forests. In our study, we included both day and night locations of the pumas. This is important because the former studies or the previous studies, they located mountain lions with aircraft. So they only could fly during the day, and so they include maybe or mostly resting location. With the use of GPS devices, we can include location during all the day. And this is important because a recent study found that puma prey, like deer, visit, especially during the night, human-dominated landscape, like golf courses, to feed there. And puma follow their prey and usually catch them in the darkest points of these, on the contrary, brighter areas. So use these packets to calculate the illumination of our points or location points based on latitude, longitude, date, and extinction coefficient. And the illumination in our case is the sum of moonlight and twilight intensity. So we can differentiate between night and day locations. And we compare our location data with random points located across the study area. So our preliminary results found that the full model, that is including both habitat and illumination variables, is the best performing model, but also that illumination variables alone perform better than the null model. What does it mean? It means that, as expected, puma probability of presence is higher away from highways and also from minor roads. And this is a very interesting result, because differentiating between day location, the red line, and night location, the blue one, we found that illumination do not affect the probability of presence of puma during the day, but increases this probability during the nighttime. So the next steps, we plan to explore the second order selection function by including random points only within every puma territory. Also, we plan to include gravel roads and ALAN, that is artificial light at night, and to use the accelerometers data to know if the mountain lion was traveling or resting. And finally, we want to identify the traits that ALAN, road noise, road light, that differentiate the points where puma approach and probably cross and can be roadkill the road, comparing with random points. That's all. Mulțumesc.
Thank you, very nice presentation. The random points, at what scale was that? Was it to cover in what you assume to be a home range scale of the whole of each individuals?
Yeah, it's random points in this presentation were in all the study area. The next step, we plan to select only inside the home range of every individual. But this is the next step.
Thank you.
Welcome.
How many, maybe I missed it, but how many random points for each presence location did you have?
How many, sorry?
Random points for each presence location?
The same number.
So 1 to 1?
So, yes.
Oh, and then I had one question about the illumination. Is there, I don't know if I understood it, but the illumination was from the moonlight package, and so was there a lot of variability in illumination or daytime lighting? Like when you see this very stable trend, is that just because that there's not a lot of variability in illumination?
Illumination includes both moonlight and daylight. For that reason, we separate between, because the package also provides you moonlight, twilight, and the zoom is just the zoom. So you can split them in day and night.
Cool.
Any other questions? Comments? Fabulous. Lunchtime.
Okay.
So thank you to all the presenters and also the presenters online. I think that went very, very well for the first hybrid session. So thanks for everyone for your patience and contributions. Lunch is now served. Lunch will be in the biodiversity building, which is 100 metres down the hill. And we will restart the next session at 3:30. So it's a long lunch. Yep. Thank you.